Hello, Taurus. What is the bottom line? What is going on? Thanks for joining me for your September general reading here at this little YouTube channel. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for you guys. I wanted to let you know I'm going to be switching up the format here. This video is going to comprise of two readings. The first one being a very 3D, mundane, quick explanation of what cards hit the table and what they would mean for you and your sign and those that are identifying or cross-watching for Taurus. Okay, your reading's happening on the eve of the eclipse. I don't know if that's going to be relevant or play into it at all. It's just the way the cookie crumbled here in the end of August going into September. Sun is going into Virgo. So what's that meaning? We're asking Tarot what that means. What are the messages for Taurus at this time in September 2017? The second half of the video is we're going to look at some oracle messages and some more divinely guided inspirational divination of the cards for those of you that might be awakening spiritually at this time. Okay, Taurus? So please do, as always, set your intention. Like I said, the first part of the reading, once we get it out, is going to be just very simple. Anybody with two eyes and an understanding of what the cards mean could give you this type of reading. So again, general reading. Take the messages that apply to you, that are meaningful for you. If it doesn't seem right, just, kind of kick it to the curb and apply it as such. Okay? As you set your intention, Taurus, you guys have the Eight of Wands up in the overall energy card at the bottom of the deck. One of the other signs had this up as an overall energy too. So there's movement here. And with movement mixed in with your sign, this is always good. This is a sign that maybe it's time to sort of become a little bit uprooted. And not in the spiritual sense, but more in the physical sense. Maybe you've been a little bit too regimented lately, Taurus. Maybe it's time to sort of let go of the rock of your stability. Tarot is, in the feeling I have, is indicating that there's some movement or there's some change or some letting go. Just being able to sort of go with the flow a little bit more. Sometimes it's okay to say yes. Sometimes it's okay to say, all right, maybe we need to go into the overdraft, or maybe we need to loosen up the purse strings so that we can just have a good time, sort of thing. Eight of Wands as well is the card of messages. This is the card of communication coming and going. So there could have been a message that you will be receiving or something that you will be sending out. It's, I think, of great importance. And it's one of those things where it seems like it's surrounded in red tape, that the message could move very slowly but steadily, sort of thing. Okay? So those are the messages surrounding up the overall energy for your sign. All right? Whatever you have asked here, we've got the Querent card, number 7, the Chariot. So again, more movement, more getting up, more going. Some of you have travel plans, and some of you actually have business travel to attend to here in September. These are things where it's like you are packing almost like 2 pieces of luggage or more, where it's like you have to go somewhere to deal with something for some period of time here. As well, there is good fortune with it. Whatever you're doing, there's it's purpose driven. You're not just kind of willy-nilly venturing out. It's almost like you're going to learn something, seminars, going to seminars, or going to pick up maybe equipment, going to pick up new things that are going to enable you to progress or continue forward. The Chariot and the Eight of Wands are the two biggest cards in the deck of travel, movement, and progression. So that's good to see for your sign, Taurus. It really is. So if you don't have these things, maybe you wish to change your environment as well for some of you, I'm seeing, all right? Now, what is challenging that is the Ace of Swords. Oh, interesting. So it's your thoughts. Maybe you're worried about traveling. Maybe you're worried about others or family members or loved ones that have to travel at this time as well. Because the Ace is just kind of inspirational tree. Maybe you're I have no reason to get up and go. I have no reason. Some of you might be feeling a little bit apathetic at this time. But the Ace of Swords is saying that there is inspiration, and the inspiration is coming in the form of a messenger or a message, and it's coming quickly. Somebody or something is going to give you a sign in your environment, and it's almost like you're going to watch it go by, or you're going to watch it come actually to your doorstep. Now, I know in this world they say nothing ever is comes and is just dropped on your doorstep, but in this case there could be news, information, and as well people that kind of are arriving that way. All right. What's in the crowning is the Tower reverse. So again, this letting go of stability is crowning the reading. It's kind of are you willing to sort of begin something new, to sort of set aside old ways or old patterns to get into something new. It's almost like the feeling is that you might be a little bit bored at present time, and you might as well be feeling that there are issues with bottom line and security type things. But there, again, this is surrounding worry. Don't be worried at this time, even though like it seems like maybe you've had some small term losses, or the feeling is it's like, oh, this is costing more than what it's adding up to be. Maybe I should throw the whole project away. No need to throw the baby out with the bathwater when we see this tower card up like this, Taurus. It's just saying, maybe just wait on it. Maybe just wait until there's a time like the universe is more conducive to like making it seem less arduous, or there's less adversity for you, especially if it's weighing on your mind or drawing on you, or you're like feeling like something might be destined to fail, something of that effect. Okay, interesting. What you're bearing for in the past, like, wow, is just more permanence. Here we go. So this is really good to see. Whatever you're going into it with strength, with certain determinations and certain a willingness to see things through, so to speak, and to see all aspects of it. So this is a card of heightened awareness. This is a card of like seeing things clearly in this situation, and to have these attributes coming through you through the month of September is going to be beneficial, especially when it comes to doing deals or making plans. Like I said, these travel plans, whatever it is that you're worried here, like your higher self, it almost wants you to sort of take note that just like take a deep breath. It's all going to be okay. Even if you may have received some bad news and you're just kind of maybe like cringing, like there's like certain thing, like there's the message comes and then the actual thing comes behind the message, like back in the day when they'd send the message to the poor people, the king is coming, and then in 2 days like the king would actually be there, kind of thing, right? This kind of message where it's like something's about to happen, you received word that it's happening, and now there's some worry about it actually happening or that day actually approaching, but it's almost like it's all for naught. You're going to have the strength and the permanence to deal with it once it does, or to go there, do it, get it done, and then come back without any hiccups, so to speak. All right, now in the foundation of this reading, what's kind of going on in the subconscious, here's the card of faith. Number 5, the Hierophant. Here's something just saying, like, you have to have a little bit of faith and a little bit of kind of divinely guided knowledge, using your intuition, that it's going to be all right. There's nothing we can do to control things that are beyond our control at present time. All we can really do is educate ourselves as to what we feel is the best and most comfortable path to follow, where most certainty, and have faith that that'll be enough. Maybe you got a long journey here and you're thinking, oh, well, I got a rattle that's coming from under the car and I don't maybe have enough money to fix it, but, I'm just worried that I won't make it, across 17 counties to where I need to go and then back again. And it's just kind of like, well, these thought forms kind of start out. It's like, well, maybe it is a little squeak, but the little squeak might not be noticeable even to a mechanic, where it's like you hear it, but because there's so much importance in you having a reliable car, you might be just like blowing it out of proportion, kind of thing. So, and that's just a mundane example. The Hierophant is just saying, like, let there be faith behind your ongoing, so that you can have an overall heightened level of happiness from day to day, okay? These are big cards. Like, they're the Tower, the Chariot, the Sun, and the Hierophant. Like, this is all stuff just being like, have faith. Nothing's going to happen, like, in regards to things like possessions or stuff like that, that is going to be at a level of importance that is like, in retrospect, you would look at it and be like, oh, it doesn't seem as important in the rearview mirror as it does, 100 yards ahead of you, kind of thing. So whatever you're tripping out about, Taurus, just stop. It's going to be okay. Wow, more major arcana. Look at this. The near future, the Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, you've got to take a chance. You've got to get up out of the easy chair, out of the comfort zone. And even though you might be working really hard and having your nose to the grindstone, this is a card is saying we have to just take some time to be like, okay, well, maybe there's some finer things, or maybe there's some different direction that we're wanting to be shown, or that the universe is wanting to show to us. And as you walk through that in your steps and in your journey, you'll see certain things that change without your control, without your consent, so to speak. And you're going to have to like either roll with the punches or make sure you're kind of like one step ahead, like through this guide of predicting it. And by making sure, I'm saying, don't worry about it. Be proactive. These cards are very much about being proactive, okay? Now, in your environment, we have Page of Pentacles reversed. So something to do with an estate, perhaps, something to do with a house, or something to do, for some of you, this is, interestingly enough, I'm seeing adoption or getting something here in regards to long lost siblings or children, or somebody reconnecting as well at this time. And it's just due to some material like message, or just the timing being right in terms of this. All right. And again, this is letting go of this insecurity of there not being physically enough. Like lack mentality almost. We have to like sort of push that aside. It's good to be gearing up for winter, but doing it in a way that where it's just like maybe you don't want to seem so like frugal at this time. You want to just kind of embrace it with a level of play or joy or happiness, okay? The Page of Pentacles could also be a younger earth sign, a Taurus, a Capricorn, or a Virgo in your environment at this time that you have in your mind or are considering being a viable part of whatever is going on here in your environment. So this could be a son, a daughter, or a younger lover, or somebody that you deeply care about that's in your home, I feel, and is relying upon you at a certain time, where it's like the feeling is you don't want to let them down, but they're not. They don't really know maybe how maybe worried you are about monies or the economy or things like that. Okay, now, wow, another page up in the best path to follow. Be more confident. Okay. This best path to follow is like use your keen sense, use the talents that you have, okay, and use them confidently. If you're a business person, or if you're someone that owns like a small business or something like that, you kind of know like when times are tough, or if you need to like be a little bit more resourceful to make ends meet. Do it with said confidence, okay? Just don't enter into situations with any kind of like wishy-washiness. You almost like when you present yourself to people, you want to like kind of come at it like with a little bit of like not like don't mess with me, but it's almost like this permanence. Whereas if you come with it with like kind of wishy-washy, or people feel like you're maybe being a little bit of a pushover, then that's not the best thing to do. Page of Wands usually brings a message of increasing confidence, okay? Now, let's see up here in the hopes and fears, we have the moon. So the hope and fear, the fear I see here is that you're not going to be able to see things clearly, that you're just not, that, you're going to miss out, or you may just feel like, things are passing you by that you might have wished you had done. So there could be some regret that's creeping up for you guys at this time. And there as well, there could be some things that are feeling a little bit overwhelming for you. The moon card reversed, when I get this, is the feeling of overwhelmed. So this could be as well a worry that you're not going to be able to bring things to completion. Okay, when we see this card as a hope, what we have here is like kind of some more higher things here. Maybe you've become enlightened or aware of the fact that certain intangibles are working in your favor, and you have to just allow them to do so. Like we saw with this card of faith, like we saw with this, just being able to let it work for you and know that if you don't have any influence, why try and influence it, right? That sort of thing. Okay, look at all the majors here. And if things do not change, the most potential outcome or timelined outcome without too much change here is a Three of Cups. So there are people here that are helping you, that can help you. And whatever it is, if you're going to see family or relatives, you're going to go and you're going to get that done, and you're going to be arriving back home safe with the family all safe and secure. So whatever it is you guys are worried about here, I would say just like don't let it get the best of you, okay? Now, that's the sort of the mundane side of it. Let's take a look now into my more favorite parts here. These are the oracle messages. We're going to be pulling a card for wisdom and one for direction, and then we're going to look at the 7 chakras to get a little bit more insight on this sort of stuff, okay? Now, I want to take this shuffle time to thank you once again for all of your views and your comments. I really appreciate you guys for being on the receiving end and taking to these readings and taking from them what you can. It means so much to me that you're there to do it. I'm still not a place I'm offering private readings, but I do enjoy giving back to you guys like this. And if you were born on a cusp, be sure to check out the cusp series of readings. We are going to be taking the oracle messages and carrying them over for those that are born on the cusp so that we can get some more information. But you guys have the card of flexibility in terms of your wisdom or what's come up, all right? And we beat that to death in that Celtic cross, right? It's just kind of like you want to make sure that you can do what you need to do in terms of your adaptability, and being adept at things to see you through with confidence, okay? That's being flexible. If somebody tries to push us over, we just lean back into them. We say, no, that's not going to happen. I'm going to stand my ground here, and it's going to be the way that I envisioned it or the way that I need it to go. Because it's almost like if you lose faith or if you lose confidence in anything, then the risk of your worry kind of like dominating the outcome of a situation becomes more real. Whereas if like you keep your confidence, you keep your cool, and you stand your ground, then whatever it is you've set your goal or your intention on is more likely to come to fruition at this time. Okay, so this is like kind of like saying stay the course for those of you that are going through that stuff that we saw in the Celtic cross. Okay, now we're going to take another card for direction. So how do we get there? Which way do we go? You know, that's the other half of it, right? We're wise enough to do the things. Now we just need to know which way we go. And you guys have pulled the card rock bottom. So interestingly enough, we can't continue on the way we're going. We have to choose some other direction. And with the rock here, and I saw it earlier, what I'm thinking is like you have to let go of regimented or limiting things. They're saying like maybe like you feel like you can't leave, or you feel like you know, you're unable to change your resources, you know, spend money on something that is not your bread and butter sort of thing. And maybe you're just in a direction where it's like you feel the need for a change and you feel that the time has come for you to sort of venture out past the things that you've been doing. And this is for longer term for some of you, maybe throughout most of 2017, like this, there's kind of these overriding feelings of like, day in, day out, do it day in, day out. And then it's like, you know, you maybe dream a little bit at night and you're like, well, there's no inspiration there. And then you think, okay, well, I'll just put in another week and then it'll happen, right? And then some of you get to the point where it's like you're absolutely fed up. So timelines are changing all around you, Taurus, and it's kind of like asking you to be like, okay, are you going to continue to stand there and beat your head into the ground or bury your head in the sand, possibly for some of you? Or are you going to be whimsical enough or lighthearted enough to take what's left of this year one and really like move with it, move through it, be a part of that energy, so to speak, okay? So that's interesting. My heart goes out to you, Taurus. It looks like some of you might just be struggling with it, with like kind of, you know, what am I trying to say here? It's like finding some sort of inspiration or finding a reason. Did you see that Lenormand card pass through there? I swear I saw it. Anyways, or finding some sort of like reason to do things differently, to do things in a way. We did. What came up there? That was in there from the last reading, I guarantee. All right, here we go. Or to do things in a way that is like, it's going to be more fun for you, or it's going to be like, we have to make this journey, we have to make it more about the journey than the destination. Going back to those like Chariot and that Eight of Wands card, because if like we spend all our time fretting about getting where we're going, eventually we're going to get there, and you know, maybe we had this like preconceived notion or expectation what it was going to be like, and then it's like we didn't appreciate the journey, and then there could be a lot of things that we may have missed along the way, and it's like, wow, you look back in hindsight and you're like, oh, just too narrowly focused or just too unwilling to get over the worry about tomorrow, when it's like I didn't really appreciate today for all that it's worth, you know, that sort of thing. And I'm not picking on you, Taurus. I'm not trying to. It's just what's coming through, all right? Let's see what we got here. Now, starting out in the root chakra, you've got a Queen of Cups or Queen of Water reversed. So exactly, right? You guys have not been kind of diving into the depths of your intuition that is available to you at this time, okay? Those things like your gut instinct, your first feeling about someone, first impressions, or your willingness to think like, that feels right, it must be right, I'm going to go for it, instead of saying, no, that'll never work, like that, what is that, Eeyore or positively pessimistic type attitude, right? You want to stay more optimistic. You want to say like, if your intuition is guiding you, it's almost like you fight it, like almost like you try to override it with rational thinking, and it's okay to a point until you are looking for inspiration. If you want to do the same old thing every day, if you are very comfortable and not willing or wanting to release yourself to higher energies or a larger upwardly mobile point of view, if you just want to stay in what you're at, that's okay. Be rational, be analytical. It'll serve you, it'll make you money, it'll do the things that you want it to do. But if you're seeking, if you're finding yourself inspired by certain things that you want to explore more, you're going to have to sort of give up on those things, that sort of that devil on your shoulder, so to speak, that's just like, you can't do that, you'll never be successful at that kind of thing, like the negative side of ego that comes back to like constantly like beat us over the head telling us we can and that sort of thing. The intuition is just saying you've got to follow the good vibes. You've got to follow the things that feel right to you. And for a lot of you, it is about getting in touch with your body, and it is being within balance, within like your desire to feel young perhaps, or to just know that, you know, source or the universe wants to show you more by actually moving you. The root chakra a lot of times is like, you're sort of like, if we had a GPS built into our bodies by source, it would be our root chakra, because it's like your pin flag on the earth at certain times. Sometimes that's basically just it's gotta be moved. It's gotta go, right? If it stays in one spot too long, it becomes very stagnant. All right. Now let's see. Wow. Now we've got a king of fire. All right. This is very interesting. And we're taking these chord cards as more internal in this portion of the reading. And this here is igniting your passions for creativity. And I think a lot of it comes down to this. I think a lot of this, with the inspiration we saw with the Ace of Swords earlier, and now what I'm feeling, is that you guys are wanting to create. You're not just wanting to be a human doing. You want to like be that person that creates, whether it's things or whether it's an energy or whether you're filling a niche through an invention, or even just bringing your natural talents out into the world so that more people can see them, and you're getting over certain fears of judgment, I feel, with this, and sort of doing it sort of passionately, and at the same time like maybe managing the things around you that you can. Maybe it's a situation where you're feeling there's a lack of time. But the King of Fire is saying, in September, there's going to be great opportunity for you to get creative, for you to find effective ways to promote the things that you can manifest. And by manifesting, I'm not just like saying like making things happen or making things come into your life. Like, I mean actually taking physical resources and building things, that sort of thing with this King of Fire, okay? It's creative, it's creationist, it's like, and it's artistic, that sort of thing, and it's passion filled. All right. Now up here in the solar plexus, which is the house of our willpower and our lower Tao, our lower intuition, we have emotion and intellect. All right. So these two things that are working in harmony. This is a powerhouse. This is like your intuition asking your brain to be like, quit hitting that override switch. Quit telling me and my higher self that we can't accomplish this, that we're it's too risky, or that we're destined to fail. It's like the intellect sometimes just has to take a break. It like, be smart about the things that you need to do, but at the same time, you don't have to be so stinking rational that it's like you're not allowed to play, or your spirit feels limited by the physical surroundings. Okay, that sort of thing. And you guys are an intellectual sign. Brilliant. Geniuses, even, Taurus. And when it comes to a lot of things. So it's kind of like whatever it is that you have can sometimes become so deeply ingrained in there that it's almost like you turn into like Android 6.0, like do, think, you know, work, go over here. It's like, and then it's like, oh my goodness, you guys, it's like there's a ton of emotion, like positive emotion, positive spirit, positive jubilation that wants to like jump out as soon as you're out of those routines, okay? And then up here, we've got this, what is this, the 4 of Earth here? My Roman numerals are off. Yeah, that's a 4, just for the way my brain goes. This is a situation where you're kind of again, this is up in your heart chakra now. So whatever it is, there's great feeling about whatever is around you, that if you were to remove yourself from a situation, that things would crumble around you. Maybe you or the people around you are placing a little bit too much onus on you or importance on you, where it's like you become indispensable to a team or indispensable to an operation, but in becoming indispensable, you've become so worn down, you've become so tired, you've become so overwhelmed that you're not maybe even holding the thing all together efficiently as you were once asked to do, or people that believe you are. So you might even find yourself needing to express to others that you need a break, that you need a rest, that your heart needs time for a regeneration cycle. All right, and look at the figure in this. Is this not you guys or what? This is like a minotaur type person with a lot of strength. That is, and it's kind of like it's turned upwards. So this miserly, or this kind of frugal, miserly thing that's going on. It's like, I hope you guys, or whoever's hearing this is connecting with, just kind of let that go. Let that go. Remember that in our heart, when we turn out the things, when we let go of these securities and the control that we have over them, it's like we realize that we are secure and we have enough, even without, having to like count every penny or think about it all the time, kind of thing. Okay? Now, moving forward. Oh, this is interesting. Now we've got Ace of Fire up here. This would be equivalent to your Ace of Wands. So this is the new inspiration. And this coming through a message from some of you. There's going to be a physical message. You're going to hear something. You're going to see something that's going to inspire you to build something or to create something. It's a direct growth from this here. Whatever's happening in the sacral is going to be like communicated to you, or it's going to be communicated to you. Maybe you're going to be like watching a video and you're going to see somebody who's created and you're like, I thought about doing that years ago. I even have the blueprints. I even have the plans to make it successful. Well, it's time to get up out the lazy boy, like I said earlier, and go make it happen. All right? Now, over here in the third eye, we've got another king. All right? This time we've got the king of air. So, be honest with yourself. This is all this is asking of you. This is like, know to yourself what's true. Maybe you're protecting yourself through certain thought patterns at this time, but the higher self is saying like, come on, we're above this. There's more to see. There's more to be. There's more to life than just this. And the King of Air is the one that kind of like cuts through that egoic, or that like I said, there's like almost like that little nagging devil on your shoulder that says no, like all the time, and says no, you know what, we got to shut that up. We have to be honest with ourselves, and when we are being self-limiting, right? It's not really addictions or substance for a lot of you, I don't feel. This is more just so of like a conditioned mindset that has occurred, or maybe this chakra is like been sort of like calcified over, or it's like it's not spinning because we haven't given it too much attention lately. But we have to be able to like realize that we are more than these human doings, and we have to be honest with ourselves and say, how long has it actually been since we've allowed ourselves to like actually go somewhere and have a good time for a long time, sort of thing, right? Okay, now the message up from the crown chakra is that of integrity. And that's really good, because whatever you're doing here, it's almost like you feel that there are situations where reputation might be on the line, and there's a situation for a lot of you where it's like you are looked up to. You are looked upon as somebody that can get things done, somebody that can be dependable and relied upon. And this younger earth person, whoever is following that timeline where the younger earth sign is in your life, don't be afraid. This person draws closer and pulls further away from time to time based on their own needs, but they have not lost faith in you, is the message I have for that person that's receiving this. And as well, this integrity card for a lot of you is just in that it's like, don't worry. If you fail, if you try something and you fail and it was new to you, at least you can say you've had the experience. It's not supposed to be pain-free. It's not supposed to be challenge-free. If it was, we would all probably just be like, in our heads doing like absolutely nothing all day long, sort of thing. But at least if you go out, you try it, you present your idea, whatever, to the world, and there might be fear of failure for some, don't worry. Or someone's like, well, that's out of character for them because, for the last 10 years or for the last 5 years, all they've cared about is doing this one thing, and then all of a sudden you try and change it, and maybe you're listening to this message being like, I can't change it because people will view that it's not an integral part of who I am. Well, don't worry about it, right? Here's the messenger again. So for a lot of you, there's news that's coming. There's lots of news coming, all right? And there's a gift here as well. And this is a gift of like inspiration. This is a gift that is going to bring completion or understanding to the situation, okay? Taurus, there's a lot going on here, and you guys are kind of got like a bit of a dog fight, I feel, on your hands, and a lot of it is like kind of very internal. The external stuff is, yeah, be prepared for travel, be prepared for a lot of communication, going in, coming out, that sort of thing. But the main thing to focus on is like this inner battle that say like you are strong enough, you are worthy enough to go forward from where you've been for the last little while, and whatever's got you tied down here, and break free of that for a little while. Like, go and enjoy some things, going and enjoy some stuff, okay? And don't be afraid of any repercussions. All right. Taurus, I love you all. We'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping in and checking out the reading.